Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be able to put any notes like I normally do though up because of
Alright.
it.
Sounds good.
Okay,
This is the longest intro ever.
we are live again.
Technical difficulties. It's not our fault. The computer demon has attacked Derp's computer, and we're
The wi-
currently in
the
a
the
fight.
the
It's
Wi-Fi
this
demon.
guy's fault. It's this guy's fault.
Yes,
Gaines Ghoul or something like that.
the Pine
Yeah,
Sol Ghoul. Yes, he
did,
sprays
did,
Pine
did
Sol
I
at his
did
enemies.
I have his name somewhat right?
He leaves them clean and smelling great.
I've never seen that, but
yeah. Let's just go with that, and I'll just pretend like I'm not cringing inside.
Are you not a fan of Pine Sol?
Now after the incident back in 2015.
Oh, you're a Lemon Pledge man. I see.
Hey, there's nothing on screen other than OBS. Hopefully it doesn't crap out again.
All right. Well, hello, people who are listening. We will start this over again.
One thing, I wanted to give this to you on camera, Mike. But
Oh,
happy
thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
It was a couple weeks ago.
That's fine. It is a cup, I'm guessing.
Yep,
Oh my fucking god.
just like this.
Yep. He gave me a cup with wood on top, and it's of art in his amazing sunglasses. He must have eaten too much spaghetti because there's some spaghetti sauce on his face. But other than that, it's looking good. That's cool. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
And this probably set you back probably $100. I'm guessing.
It was
It's a super high quality.
$20 a glass.
That's when you lie and you go, yeah, of course it was $100. No, it was actually $200. Now that I think about it. Hold on. Trivia flowers.
I got you one, me one, Caitlin one, Caitlin's friend one, Welker one, and Devin one.
Nice.
Welker got one that said wise ass on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Devin got one that said smut.
Smut? What the fuck?
Caitlin got one of Deadpool, which is him with a machete in his head saying, I'm a unicorn.
How? I can never figure out how these fit in the goddamn boxes. How the fuck? How the heck did they fit these in the boxes?
Okay, back to One Piece.
What? No. Screw One Piece. I gotta figure out how this works.
We are here to review the first 20 episodes of Water 7 arc. Episodes 229 to 248.
Yes. There was a lot of ups and downs. This is my first time watching the entire One Piece series, so this is the journey through it. I can't believe we didn't think about saying it's blind before,
It's
but
blind for him, but not for Mulcat and I.
yes. So you're just getting my virgin reaction to this, and there's a lot of characters that we have to introduce. So let's get right into it. Introduce it. Oh yeah, I'm Skeeter, Derp Derp, and then Mulcat, of course. We all went to the coolest high school. That's right, Nib High. Nib High football rules. All right. Anyways, so we are firstly introduced to three characters that run a lighthouse. We have a girl named Chimney, a cat named Ganbei, and Grandma Kokoro, who is a severe alcoholic. I wonder if there's AA in this world. Probably not, but
It's a post-apocalyptic world, or at least that's the theory. I'm pretty sure they have more pressing matters.
Spoilers, dude. Not cool.
Sorry,
do not do that again.
sorry.
Please do not do that again.
I
Please.
just said theory.
I thought you were joking when you said that, and then you was like, oh,
Matt, we could have.
you know how I don't
Yeah.
like spoilers.
Dude, this is overly sarcastic, or not overly simplified preference. Besides, even if it is real,
Oh, it's not confirmed. Okay,
Yeah,
then it's all fake.
yeah,
then
yeah.
someone was stupid, and made it
Yeah,
up.
it's just a theory. It's not
Oh,
confirmed.
okay. Whew.
That's why.
Oh.
That's why I ended it with it's just a theory.
Okay.
That so you shouldn't. It was just a theory.
My heart dropped, dude. You got to give me give me the cup, and then you drop this thing. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize for being a dick, but I don't like.
Thank you for backing me up, man.
I don't like spoilers. I don't like spoilers for football games either. So I mean, imagine now. Anyways.
It kind of blurted out of me, but it is just a rumor or a theory.
That's not real. It's
Yeah.
fake.
It can
it's
still
a
be,
zombie apocalypse.
It's a non-confirmed theory.
Thanos is also in this world. He's having a tea party on the surface of the sun with all the Avengers because they came together. Now, of course, they're being burned alive. But the gesture of goodwill from Thanos to these guys is, hey, I got the stone, so I wish that I couldn't be burned by the sun. And I told everyone else that they're protected from the sun, but psych. So everybody's dead, and the tea is not there because it's tea. It evaporated already. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, all right.
Matt,
so we got Grandma.
Mulcat, you look very lost.
Oh, for the podcast, I got a couple names. I asked my brother, and he came up with a couple names. My brother and my brother's friend. Anyways, for a new game we're playing, Mulcat. All right. We are introduced to the city of Water 7, which is basically, it looks like a fountain. It's surrounded by water, and it's kind of like Venice, where there's canals in the streets. They even have these like creatures. I forget what they're called.
Do you remember the names, Mulcat?
Oh, bulls. Bulls. Transportation. They're called bulls. At least in the Japanese version. Anyways, we are introduced to the mayor. His name is Icebarg. He is also in charge of all the shipwright businesses in the city, and he brought them all together to be one. And his assistant Kalita, we introduced to her, and then the Frankie family and Frankie himself. Frankie family is like a gang, and they go around causing trouble, and they're also, what do they call it? Not merchants, bounty hunters on the side. There it is. Let's see. The company of Icebarg is called Galley Law Company, and not LAW, but LA, because I love LA. That was dumb. All right, I apologize. We are also introduced to a man called, he's the coolest person ever. His name is Kaku, aka the Mountain Wind. He can run really fast, which is really cool to see. He is one of the foremen of the Galley Law Company, and we're introduced to some of the other foremen, Paulie, Lucci, and Hattori the pigeon. Hattori the pigeon is Lucci's pigeon that talks for him because he is
brings the
mute.
operation.
He is mute. Lucci is mute. Well, at this point, he is, but spoiler alert. um, we are also introduced to a Mr. Cordy, who is a government official. He's kind of a weird. We don't really see him much, but he keeps pestering Icebarg for something, and Icebarg keeps refusing. You got the Frankie house. What else? And Blueno. He works as a bartender in town, and I think we'll save the last one for later on in the review. But we'll just say his name is Tom. How about that? All right, so those are all the characters that are introduced. Sorry, we don't have any pictures, but
You also
Internet is
you
being
forgot
dick.
The girl,
Which girl?
the blonde-haired girl.
Kalita?
No, he mentioned
Uh,
Kaliva.
Kalita. Yeah.
I was distracted by OBS because it keeps going in and out.
Okay.
He mentioned Khalifa.
And I think, like, cause I kind of got it color coded for my different things. Jake or Derp can see it, but you can't see it, Mulcat. But so those are the characters. That's green. I suppose we can go over the story now and try to get to what we want to get to. Actually, let's do the fighting stuff, because that's really cool. There is a now let's do a quick synopsis of the story. I think that'll make more sense if we do. We're still trying to figure it out, Mulcat, on how we want to do our review and how to organize it and stuff, rather than doing just synopsis. So characters first, I guess story second. That's the pink. So basically the
we
Straw
basically
Hats.
want to try to cut it down to a half hour.
Yeah. So basically the Straw Hats are there because of a creature called Yokozuna, who was swimming in front of their ship, and they kind of followed him. They're like, "Oh, that's the thing that attacked the boat," and so they follow it, and they find this lighthouse that's not where the what's the compass called again?
Log pose.
Log pose is pointing to. So they're like, "Oh wow, what's this?" They find a train that's on the top of the water, and they almost get killed. For the past, I don't know, like 40 episodes, they've been looking for a shipwright, someone who can repair the ship.
Ever since Skypia.
Yep. They're like, "Oh, we need someone to repair the ship," haha, and they've been talking about it again and again and again. And so they get there, and they're introduced to the Grandma Kokoro, and she's like, "Oh, you guys are really cool. Here's a map of how to get to Water 7. They got a bunch of shipwrights there." And well, Sanji made them a meal, so they're trying to repay the favor, or she's trying to repay the favor and be like, "Here, this talk to Icebarg. He'll get you um, in line to get your ship repaired right away, and we have the best shipwrights in the world over here, and everybody's excited, awesome." And Luffy's actively looking for a shipwright, and he notices that these shipwrights are very, very strong, and he's like, "Ooh, you're strong. Ooh, you're strong. Ooh, you're strong. Ooh, I got my pick the litter. Oh, this is cool." So they find Icebarg, and Luffy says, "Oh, repair my ship. Can you join my crew? I'm looking for a crew to join." And at the same time, there's these government officials are here, and they're told to hide because they're pirates, and they pester Icebarg for something. So they're all everybody's kind of doing their own thing here, and everybody's exploring the island. They get it's like Nami and Luffy and who's the other person? Is it Chopper? Or no, maybe it's just Nami and Luffy. They get and Usopp. They have this goal. They have to go to exchange it. So they get on this transportation, and there's these things called bulls, and they're just like creatures in the water, and they're everywhere in the city. And
They're
everybody's
basically
going
like a
back and
living
forth.
gondola.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't know, these things like love to, go really fast. As we learn quickly, shortcuts are what they love. Anyways, we're introduced to Iceberg's um, assistant Kalita, and there's a lot of people in town wearing these strange masks. Um, Pirates not paying as sexual harassment. That's what I wrote in one of my notes. Pirates not paying as sexual harassment? Question mark.
Khalifa has a bit of a thing where she's the PR for the shipwrights, but she is a walking, talking PR disaster.
Got it. Yeah, it's been a while since I saw the episode. Anyways, and we forgot to talk about the sea train. The sea train that's there, the rails are just under the water, and it's called a puffing tom. That's what the train is called. We got the bulls, and then we got the Watergate elevator, and there they show them going from a low level area, and the the this tower that they're in fills with water, and they're able to rise, and they show a little map on the episode, which is really cool to see how it's done. And they're able to get higher, and they exchange their gold, and now they have money. They're like, hey, now we can go shopping for to repair our ship, and they get it and they go to get it appraised. And I think it's Kaku is the one that goes and appraises the ship.
Yep.
He is a guy that looks just like Usopp, but he has a square nose instead of a round nose, and so people are a little confused by the two. Um,
And he can also fly or glide.
yeah, he can run really fast. Let's see, and so after the Watergate elevator happens, they're told about the masks. There's a mask festival. Actually, it's Robin that tells them because she's been to different places before. She's been, in the Grand Line for 20 years or being a pirate or whatever. Um, and I think she's traveling with Sanji, or is it either Sanji or Chopper? I think it's Chopper that she's traveling with. And some guy in a mask walks past her and says CP9, and she freaks out and just follows this person. Just just leaves. Just like what? What? Okay, what is CP9? And why did Robin leave? And in these particular episodes, um, there's this common theme of uh, what was his name? Akiji.
Ayukiji.
Oh, Kiji kept saying, "Don't trust Nico Robin. She will betray you at some point. She has like a darkness inside of her, or something like that." And Iceberg sees, um, recognizes Nico Robin as well, and we'll see that he recognizes her eyes and stuff like that. Um, but so she leaves, and it's just like, okay, so Nico Robin literally just left the party already. Like, why is she with these people, and who are they, and why are they traveling around in masks? What is this, some secret society? And they keep talking about how the secret society is not real, but it is real, but it's not real. It's just rumors. And what is this CP9? Nobody really knows what it is. Um, but then Zoro gets attacked. I forget where he is. I think he's on the ship. He gets attacked, and
Yep.
we are introduced to the Frankie family. They try to kill him while he's sleeping, but he's like, no, 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 you don't kill me. So he uses he counterattacks by using the two sword style, the Rhino Cycle, which is cool. Yeah, I can't really explain it more than that, but it's one of his sword attacks, and that's awesome. Anyway, so they exchange, you know, it's Luffy, Nami, and Usopp. They exchange their gold for money, and they get 300 million berries. And they're like, "Yay, we can spend our money now!" And then immediately, their money gets stolen. By the Frankie family. So that's fun. Yep, Iceberg is the mayor and runs the Galley Law Company, uh, which is the entire town. Basically, he runs the entire town. He's been doing that for 5 years. Um, Also manages the sea train that goes from island to island. Um, I think we mentioned Kaku, the mountain wind, because he runs so fast. Let's see. Yep, we were talking about Robin with the masked person. Um, Money. Yep, the money was stolen, but immediately, I think what's his name, Polly, the rope guy.
Yeah,
That's Polly.
Polly.
Okay, Polly. He gets the money back right away, accidentally. He's running away from debtors, so he just finds a boat and it's like, oh yay, you got us our money back, hooray! You're such a good person. Um, Introduced Polly, Lucci, and his pigeon Hattori. Uh, and then we got some history on the Galley Law Company. There used to be 7 different shipwright businesses, and they were merged together into one to make it stronger and better. Thanks to Icebarg. Um,
I'm just gonna lay down for a minute.
okay. And gets kidnapped, and he also gets the money gets stolen from him again. So that's fun. And this, let's see. Oh, and then Kaku comes back and he says, "Oh yeah, the Going Merry, you can't repair it. It's gone. It's dead." And then we got a really cool explanation of the keel. Um, and what I learned, and I didn't know this about wooden ships, is that the keel is like the main part of the boat. It goes from the front um, down on the bottom to the back, and if that gets broken, it can't be repaired because that is basically it's the spine of a ship, and once that's broken, you can't repair it. You have to get a new ship. Basically, you can scrap your ship, and Luffy immediately is like, oh, let's just build another Going Merry, and they're like, nope, you can't do that. Every ship is different. Every piece of wood is different. Everything that's grown is every tree is different. So that means every ship has to be different. It's just how it is.
Ship of Theseus argument, basically, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's ultimately, even if you replace pieces of it, you would eventually have a brand new ship, despite the fact that you're only replacing pieces of it at a time.
Yeah.
But you would know that it's not the original.
Yeah, because it would move differently. It would the turning would be you could feel it when you're turning. When you got the wind behind your back, you could feel like it might go faster, it might go slower. Um, it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like skis, I guess too. Um, Skis or a snowboard or different skateboards, I guess. Any kind of tool.
The best example would probably be like your car. Like after you got into a bad car accident and your insurance, instead of just writing it off, has it repaired. It's never quite the same after that.
Yeah, you start to turn the wheel all the way to the left, and all of a sudden you just can't do it. You try to adjust your seat to make it better, but nothing works. Anyways, get some government officials to come see Icebarg, blah blah blah. Usopp is kidnapped and the money gets stolen. Um, and he says there's a lot of quotes from Usopp in this arc, and this one is how will I face the others? He is actually found in the street. Nami finds him all beaten up and with nothing. His money taken away, he's gone, and he starts to question his place in the crew. He's not the most powerful. He's not the most talented. Um, and he feels like, why do I deserve this? Why do I deserve to be here? I think other people want to kick me out, kind of thing. Um, there's a term for that. It's when you're doing a job and you don't feel like you deserve to be there or the money getting
Imposter
away.
syndrome, I think.
Imposter syndrome. Yes, that's it. Thank you. He's getting imposter syndrome. That's pretty much what's happening. He has failed to secure. He lost 200 million berries. Like, who does that? Um, but he was blindsided. But he feels responsible for that money missing, and he feels like people are gonna judge him because he lost that money. Like, he shouldn't have done that. Especially Nami. Like, screw Nami. She can be really annoying at times. Anyways, so Usopp decides to attack the Frankie house to get the money back and beg for the money back. And he goes in there and he's just like, "Hey, give me my money back." And he's starts to cry a little bit. And he's just like, "Give it back, give it back." And everybody's just laughing at all the Frankie crew is just laughing. They're like, "We don't have the money. Frankie has it." And he attacks Frankie, and they all attack him, and he gets beat up, and he's just even more down. He just feels helpless. He's like, I'm not strong like Luffy or Zoro or Sanji, and I'm not talented like Nami. Nami's the navigator. They need Nami. You know, Robin and Chopper both have their skills, archaeologist and doctor. And what is Usopp? The sniper? How good of as a sniper is he's doubting himself.
Excuse me.
Um, and so he gets beat up, and we are introduced to Frankie. Frankie is wearing a mask, and he just is just like he's like, you guys beat him up. Have a party. I'm gonna spend this money. Um, so he attacks. When he attacks, he attacks him with like an egg or something like that, or a star. I can't remember. But pisses off Frankie. He's like, "You guys beat him up. I don't care. Have fun." And then the Straw Hats get word of this. They see Usopp beaten up and all bandaged and stuff like that, and they're pissed. They're pissed that their money was stolen. They're pissed that Usopp was beaten up, and they just can't have this. They don't want this to happen. So they go to Frankie house and F some SH up. They go to town on them. I don't know how many. I think some die. Some are. A lot of them are alive though.
No, none of them die.
Oh, they don't.
Well, maybe Zoro. No, Zoro wasn't by himself.
Yeah, it was Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, and Luffy. They all attack. And because the house, I question like some of them must die because their house collapses, right? So
it's One Piece. Unless you're introduced in a flashback, you're not dead.
Okay, I'll go with your expertise on it.
But we've gone through it a few times.
They don't tend to kill people.
Yeah, Oda isn't really somebody that will just kill off characters without like extreme meaning to it.
Oh,
Oda, Oda is kind of like the polar opposite of George R. Martin, where he's like, "Oh, I'll kill any character because anyone can die at any time. It's just not how that works in reality." Oda's like, "Their story's not over yet. I have more. There's more I can do with them, and I'm not gonna shelve the story because they're still alive."
yeah.
Like we see Pell get blown up, yet he survives.
Who's Pell again?
The
Oh, the bird guy.
Evil guy from Dressrosa, or not Dressrosa,
Alabasta.
Alabasta.
Yeah.
there's one arc where coming up where that will change a little bit.
All right. Cool.
That's
So,
all I'll say.
so we got a couple attacks here. We got
Mulcat, you know what I'm talking
you
about.
got the Gummo Gummo cannon. We got the Gummo Gummo cannon, which doesn't seem like it's new, but I mean it is. He faces like this really armored guy, Luffy does, and it looks like it's just the Gummo Gummo Gatling mixed with the Gummo Gummo Bazooka. That's all it is. That's what it looks like. He weakens them with the Gatling, and then hey, look, cannon, boom.
He doesn't actually hit them with the cannon though, or with his Gatling. He actually does it just kind of heat up his hands.
Yeah, but he calls it the Gummo Gummo Gatling, or the Gummo Gummo Cannon, which to me looked like the combination of both. But it's a new attack that we haven't seen before, so I had to write it down. And then we got the three sword style, the Raven Hunt, where Zoro chops up a couple of cannonballs, no big deal. Um, and then Luffy says like the coolest line of the arc so far. He says, "We'll beat you up so bad, not even your bones will remain." Because he's pissed. He's mad. He's like, "How dare you beat up my crewmen? You don't do that. First you steal our money, then you beat them up. Why?" Um, and then he says, "We'll give the Going Merry a proper goodbye," because he's also grieving from the news of the Going Merry not being able to be repaired, and so this whole time, um, he ever since he learned the news, he just ran away, and he got like he denied it, and then he got really mad, and he just started running away, and we didn't see him for a couple episodes because he's in his grieving process. Um, and so
You're talking Usopp, right?
I'm talking about Luffy. Luffy's grieving over the Going Merry because he doesn't want to get rid of the Going Merry either. But he learned about the news earlier, so later on when Usopp learns about the Going Merry, Usopp's in denial, and he's just starting that process, that grieving process, and then they get into the argument and stuff like that. So it's a difference between it was probably like a day or so, but Luffy had time to process what he was gonna do, but Usopp didn't, and so when Luffy says we're gonna we're gonna get a new ship, Usopp is like, no, we're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna give up on. Excuse me, the Going Merry. We're gonna be with this ship forever. I'm gonna repair it, and it's gonna be fine. We got through this far, and he doesn't believe that the shipwrights. He believes that the shipwrights were wrong, and they're just trying to sell them another boat. That's all he believes because he's at that point. Remember, he just learned about it. He's just where Luffy was. The grieving process.
It's not just that.
It's also the imposter syndrome.
It's legitimately like the ship is Usopp in this endeavor.
Yeah, and it's also Kaya, his love interest. It's like, oh, your servant gave this to me. This is awesome. Cool. Thank you. Thing. But yeah, he is in love with that ship. You're absolutely right. Because he is the unofficial shipwright. He's been trying to repair that for a while. Let's see. And oh yeah, look at that. L and U argue. Wow, emotional grief. So I started to write down the 5 stages of grief. It's denial, anger, and that's as far as I got. I don't really know the other ones, but it's denial, anger, um, bargaining's one. It's bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. Those are the 5 stages of grief. And I don't I don't know if they got past. I never saw them bargaining for it, um, but I assume they did. They did it in their own way, but they're going back and forth, and they get into this huge argument, and Usopp leaves. He's like, if you're not gonna have the Glimmer, I have to leave this group. I've been thinking about this for a while. You guys are probably thinking it too. Like, I'm not contributing to this group, so I'm gonna go my own way, and I'm gonna take the Glimmer with me. And he challenges Usopp challenges Luffy to a duel. Is it to the death? I don't think so. They're just fighting over the Going Merry, and this is hard for both of them. It's hard for the audience, and it's hard for both of them, which leads up to the greatest fight ever. This is my most favorite fight so far in the series. Usopp versus Luffy. Holy
It is
shit.
legitimately a good one.
Holy crap. Because kids are watching. Holy crap. What is happening today? Like, where did this come from? Like, it's just the underdog versus the big alpha male guy, and I always like everybody likes cheering for the underdog, but Usopp is just like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, and so they get out. Do they get out there? They're about to fight. Usopp's all bandaged up from being beat up, and Usopp does his classic tomato sauce. He immediately just starts the fight, and he looks like he's coughing up blood, and Luffy's like, "Oh my God, are you dying?" And Usopp is like, "Oh, underestimating your enemies already, huh?" As he just hits him with a barrage of different attacks. I wrote them all down because this fight was so awesome. We got the we got the tomato. Then Luffy was hit by a bunch of Usopp's spells. He's like, "Oh, you have a bunch of cactus needles under your nails." Ah, and Chopper's in the background, like, "Oh my God, that's horrible." You have razor blades between your teeth. Oh my God, I can't handle it. Um, he hits him with a bunch of rotten eggs, and it starts to smell. He puts Caltrops down, so Luffy can't move. Um, gives him some Tabasco sauce, so now his breath is on fire, which is great. And I got a whole list of this. Let's see: Tabasco, pepper, uh, flash dial, the blind Luffy, um, the best one, shuriken shooting stars. They're like a bunch of shurikens on a rope, and he's flinging them at Luffy, and so they're all going at him at the same time. And Luffy's trying to dodge these things, and he tries to dodge them by stepping, but he can't because there's Caltrops on the ground, and he smells like he's full of rotten eggs. His breath is on fire. Luffy's not having a good time at all. Um, like Usopp knows Luffy. Like, he knows what he does in fights. He's seen him so many times before. He knows what's gonna happen. Um, let's see, breath dial with I think it's a fart with the gas of the gas of 1,000 suns. It's a fart, and he does smoke dial as well to cloud the area, and and it's filled with gas. And then he's like, "Oh, have a flame star." So basically, Luffy explodes in the cloud of gas, and Luffy wasn't able to smell the gas because of the rotten eggs. It just goes to show that Usopp is a lot stronger than you think, and his attacks are a lot more powerful than you think. Like, holy crap, what is happening right now? What else? What did he had? Oh, right, he had the bursting cactus star. It like a bomb that explodes and a bunch of needles pop out, and I get Luffy, and holy crap, Luffy's down. Then I wrote best fight so far, underdog showing his worth, and I didn't realize that the fight wasn't over yet. So then we have gunpowder stars. He's getting with gunpowder, filling with gunpowder, and finally he receives one of Luffy's attack using an impact dial to catch the impact, and then he uses that impact to attack Luffy, and now he's on the ground, and they're like, oh man, this is crazy. This is a crazy fight, and in the end, Luffy wins with like a punch to the face or whatever. I think it's like a Gumma Gumma pistol or something. But Usopp's down, and then Chopper's like, "Oh, we need to go give him aid," and then Zoro's like, "What are you doing? He's already lost. Don't insult the man by going to help him like right away." Um, it's the thing that Luffy and Usopp have to get over together, and Usopp loses, but Luffy says, "You can have the Going Merry. Like, I don't care. I'm getting a new ship," and that's what I decided. Um, and so that's that entire fight. Oh, it was he wins with a Gumma Gumma bullet.
Basically, a quick punch as opposed to the long wind up.
Yeah. Luffy won, sad face. Um, and then right after this fight, we learn that Icebark is shot. Roll credits. No, just kidding. And there's a lot of mystery behind this. What has happened? Everybody's mad, especially Frankie, because he comes back from his spending spree and finds out that his house was exploded in, and he learns it was the Straw Hats, the pirates. So he goes and attacks Luffy while Luffy is going to see why Iceberg got shot. Um, Iceberg wakes up. He says Nico Robin was one of the people that shot him. He got shot 5 times, by the way. And he says, Nico Robin, oh, she's one of the Straw Hats? It's the Straw Hats are behind this. So Luffy gets attacked, not just by Frankie, but by the foreman as well. And Luffy's confused, and Frankie is confused because he's told, hey, this is our fight. And he's like, no, this is my fight. What are you doing? And so like it's kind of a back and forth thing. We're also told that there's an Aqua Laguna coming. It's basically a tsunami that happens once a year, and so everybody starts. All the work is called off, and everybody starts getting to higher ground as quickly as possible. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we also learned that Frankie is a cyborg, and he has like power stored up in his arms. He can do cool attacks. He's like a chain in there, and he can blast air really quickly, which is really awesome. Um, yeah, so the Straw Hats are accused of attacking Icebarg, and it goes everywhere in town. So as soon as that news happens, every one of the Straw Hats gets chased. So we get the coup de vent attack from Frankie, and when he attacks Luffy, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm out of gas. I can't do this anymore. I'll attack him later." So it's kind of cool that he goes to a bar, and he is powered by cola. His attack moves or his mechanical body is powered by cola, which is really awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Um, let's see. Did Luffy get shot? It says L shot. I don't remember that. Anyways, Frankie Fuel. Then we are introduced to more of the CP9 organization. It's an organization that is real, and what's that note? Oh, they're assassins. That's what I wrote down. They're assassins that are behind the killing. That's one of the theories. It's either Straw Hats or the CP9 because Nico Robin is with the CP9 and they apparently tried to assassinate Iceberg. So that's cool. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh, Trapper finds Robin and he's like, "Yay, Robin!" And she's like, "There's a darkness inside of me. Please go away." And she walks away, and then they lose her. Sanji and Chopper lose her, and it's really sad how she just kind of walks away from them. Let's see. So we don't know if Robin is a friend or foe because she's abandoned people before. That's what we're told. So what's happening? It's all a mystery. Let's see. Uh, let's see. CP9 attacks. Oh right. All the there's this huge scene where the foreman and the shipwrights are all like surrounding this headquarters where Icebarg is. They want to protect him from the Straw Hats and the other assassins and stuff. And the Straw Hats are there, and they're waiting for the CP9 to attack, and they do this. CP9 attacks, and we kind of learn what Cipher Pol 9 is, and there's a lot of stuff that's revealed here. These CP9 people are in masks, and they have like strange powers, and all these shipwrights can't do anything to them at all. They're like super powerful people. Um, and we learn that the Cipher Pol 9 they want Iceberg safe contents, whatever's in a safe. We don't know what is in a safe. Um, But 2 seconds later, they reveal what's in the safe, and it is a secret ship blueprints, which is revealed as Pluton blueprints. And Pluton is a is one of those big, massive weapons like a nuclear bomb or whatever. But it's a ship that's super powerful, and he has the blueprints for it. And the government has been asking him for about 5 years to get these blueprints, and he keeps denying them. And Cipher Pol 9, CP9, works for the government. Um, we are aware of Cipher Pols 1 through 8; those are known, but CP9 is a secret organization, and they are here to get those plans. So that's fun. Um, let's see. He does have a conversation. Icebarg does have a conversation with Nico Robin. Um, Nico Robin's been asked to kill Icebarg to finish him off, and he explains to her like deciphering poneglyphs is illegal. Can't be doing this, and he explains like they're going for the Pluton, and we know from the Alabastia arc that Nico Robin is not interested in people finding the Pluton. She's interested in the ancient history of
The Void Century.
the Void Century. Yes, um, and so that's cool. Let's see, Sacred Ship Pluton, ancient weapon. Let's see. Icebarg is scared that Robin seeks the Pluton, and talks about the O'Hara incident. So they briefly talk about this, um, it's the incident where Nico Robin got her bounty, and when she was only 8 years old, because it was determined that she could read the poneglyphs, and she's the only person in the world currently that can do this. And he fears that she has the Ohara Devil's ideology, whatever that is, um, and that the government wants the Pluton to end the pirate um, age that is happening. And we learned that Polly was told by Icebarg to go get some fake blueprints, but however, Polly was attacked as he was doing so, and he wasn't able to overpower these two goons that attacked him. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's just a fake. It's whatever. Blah blah blah." Well, that's fun. We're introduced to Tempest Kick. It makes a cross in the wall, and it cuts it, and it's just like, holy crap! What kind of attack is this? This is crazy. Um, Immediately after this, we find out that Lucci is a traitor, and Kaku, and Khalifa. They're all traitors.
And
Yep.
And
I told you, Khalifa was a walking PR nightmare.
Blueno, the bartender, is also there. And these guys, when they attacked the headquarters, they're just going to town on these poor shipwrights. And they even had the foreman guarding the door to Icebarg. But when two of them are traitors themselves, it's hard to it's hard to know. You know, they were deceived, they were infiltrated, and they've actually been undercover for 5 years, trying to get Icebarg's blueprints. And they keep saying again and again, we asked you nicely to give us these blueprints, but you said no, so we're gonna have to take it by force. It's like, okay, well, there's a reason why he's not giving it to you. Anyways, undercover 5 years. Cipher Pole. This is where we learn about the Cipher Pole bases. The government wants to use Pluton to end the pirate age. Iceberg, his quote is, "It's the nature of humans to destroy," basically. So he wants to stop people from having these blueprints. Duh. Haha. And then they talk to him, and they're like, "Oh, we have the CP9 people, the traitors, are like, oh, we have a hypothesis," and it's more like an interrogation that they have on Icebarg, and they're seeing if he's lying by checking his pulse when they talk to him, and they're like, "Oh, you had a fake one. You never had the real one. You probably gave plans to someone else." Blah blah blah. They go through this whole intricate series. They've had 5 years of trying to figure this out, and they finally figured it out. That this guy named Cuddy Flam, his name was only uttered once. They figured out the Cuddy Flam is Frankie, and the Frankie has the Pluton blueprints because they both had the same master, who was a man named Tom, who died, and it was thought that this Cuddy Flam died like 8 or 9 years ago, but I guess he didn't, and he went with the name Frankie instead. So he was given the blueprints just in case Icebarg got attacked, which is what happened, and Frankie is now known. And now that they have that information, well, they're going to set the place afire and kill everyone inside because less evidence. And this is where the evil part of them comes out. It's just like, yeah, they don't care, but they're doing this, as they say, for justice, to stop this pirate age that is happening. And yeah, that's the thing. At this time, when they're about to kill Icebarg, like point blank, Luffy and Zoro enter from at the same time, from different sides, from having their own like side stories, and we are also introduced to the Roku Shiki technique, which is 6 techniques in one. The human bodies are trained to match weapons, so there's as strong as 100 people each person is, and so far I wrote down 5 of them, so they keep using them. I don't know if they said all 6, but I got 5. So one is Iron Body. Second one is Paper Art. They turn into a piece of paper and you can't hit them. Third one is Moonwalk, where they can basically do a double jump in midair. Tempest Kick, which is a kick which slices like a sword. And Finger Pistol. They use this one a lot, where you turn your finger into a gunshot, basically, and you can poke people with the finger. And I don't know if they said a 6th one or not. They probably did. I just missed it. But I'm sure they'll say it again. It's okay. But this was very fascinating to me, and they all went through this vigorous training for the government, and they were all able to. Maybe the 6th one is like the running really fast one. I don't know. But they're all basically able to change their bodies. They can become more solid, and they can become more lighter, to be as fluid as paper, so you can't hit them, and they can go really fast with their finger and finger blast you. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Roku Shiki technique. That's cool. Alright, I'm just looking over my notes. Alright. Bu- 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 bu. Oh, right. Robin is in this room, and Luffy comes in there, and everybody's trying to rescue Robin. They're like, Robin, you can't just leave us. You have to tell us a reason, like why you're leaving us. I will not accept you leaving. That's what Luffy says, and then Robin says a very ominous quote. She says, "To make my wish come true, a wish that could never come true if I'm with you." So then she eventually jumps out the window after, Luffy tries to grab her, basically. But she is shut down, or he is shut down, and Robin escapes, and Chopper is devastated. Nami's devastated. Sorry, say that again?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Um, Everybody's devastated at this point, and all their asses get kicked. And meanwhile, Luffy finds Polly, and they both get incapacitated, but Luffy's able to escape, and they become friends, and he's not mad at Luffy anymore. He's mad at the CP9 for attacking. So that's cool. And so you have this powerful foreman, Polly, with the Straw Hats, and you're like, yeah, they're going to kick some ass. But no, they get their asses beat. Like, again and again. They can't do anything against these guys. And it's very sad. It sucks. However, we learn that Lucci has not only Lucci has a devil fruit power, but he can also talk. He can talk this whole time. So his devil fruit power is he took the cat fruit, which is a leopard version of the zone, and because it's a carnivore animal, we learned that it's a more brutal version of the zone type. And I forgot to mention Blueno. He took a devil fruit too, called the Door fruit, and he can, as long as there's a wall, he can make a door out of it, so you can escape anywhere. You can get in any place you want, make a door. Isn't that fun? So, and so Lucci is talking, and he's talking about Logia fruit, zone fruit, and he mentions a Paramecia fruit, which we haven't been introduced to yet. But in the future, I'm assuming what we'll find a paramecia fruit. Um, so that's cool. This world just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. Uh, what's next? Let's see. They're set on fire. Blah blah blah. We learn that the water level is increasing, and the sea train called it was made by Tom is only 10 years old. All right. Um, Frankie kidnap. Oh, there's this whole subplot where Frankie tries to kidnap Usopp, and he does, and he takes the going Mary with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, you can bring your ship with you." Blah blah blah. And he's a shipwright himself, so he makes an assessment, and he tells Usopp like, "Yeah, your ship is done. See that thing on the bottom? Take a he gets Usopp gets mad and he get into a little scuffle and he's like, "Oh, you want to see for yourself?" So he throws him in the water. So now Usopp's on the bottom. He's looking up. He's just like basically crying for his ship, and he's like, "Dude, this ship's done. Sorry." He's like, "Yeah," and you know Usopp's kind of accepting it at this point. He's just like, I knew she couldn't go on, but I didn't want to let her go," kind of thing. Um, so Frankie breaks her. Usopp's realization. Um, what's that word? Oh, oh right. The Klabautermann is the fairy that Usopp saw on Skypiea.
Yep.
And it was like he thought it was a ghost, but it's like it appears if you take care of your ship, so it's a really good sign. And basically fixed it to a point where you could get to the next shore. So, and this is the next shore, even though it went to like other islands, but that was filler, so that doesn't count.
The beginning of the Foxy Pirates wasn't, but.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And the whole fight with Ayokuji wasn't either.
Ayokuji? Who's Ayokuji?
The ice guy.
Oh yeah, right. That was not either. No, I think they went to get to a place where it had shipwrights, where you could get a new ship. I think that's what it was. But we're almost done, guys. So, man, I went into synopsis again. I was trying to avoid that, but I went into synopsis again. That's my bad. I gotta learn to be more disciplined. Right, Jake?
Yep, Rudy.
He's fallen asleep.
No, it's my back again.
Oh, okay. Anyways. After that, CP9 attacks Frankie. We get an episode of Frankie's past. This is shoots to 22 years ago. Introduced to Tom, their master, and there's a judicial ship that comes from the Marines, and this is like right after they executed Gold Roger, and he's put on trial. Tom is because he built the ship for Gold Roger. And they're like, "Oh, you made it possible so that he could go pirating." And Gold Roger was the first person to make it around the globe on the Grand Line because of the ship. Let's see. So Tom got arrested and he was put on trial. Basically, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna execute you now," and he's just like, "Wait a minute, I have plans for a train that'll take about 10 years to navigate and um, it's able to connect the different islands and
You're talking about the sea train, right?
yeah, the sea train. The sea train then we get a whole sea turn explanation. He's like on trial, and he's like, "Oh yeah, but you can't build, you know, a train in the ocean. That doesn't make any sense. Besides, if you're gonna build it or if you're gonna like travel with, there's sea monsters that'll attack." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got that covered. I got paddle boats, or not paddle boats. What are they called? I wrote that down somewhere. Um, Crap. Well, I read that they're not paddle boats. They're like paddle wheels or something like that that make a noise that uh, the sea monsters don't like, and also he explains how the tracks work. They set just below the water surface, and they flow with the waves. Um, However, when the train goes over it, it becomes like a track that the train can actually go on, and it connects the different islands, so there can be trade again, even though there's pirates um, that are blocking trade and stuff like that, and making it hard for people to um, uh, traverse the seas. So as soon as he says this, he's like, yeah, no, I'm the only person that could do this. And so the judge is like, all right, I'll give you 10 years probation, haha, to make this train. And so like 10 years later, you know, Water Nine is like all depressed and stuff, and he comes out with this train, and it just like lifts the city, and for the next 12 years until the present, it's been, even though this train has only been around for 10 years, so I don't know how that math works. Maybe that was a different train that took 2 years, 2 other years to build. Anyways, so this train is able to go to different islands, and they can traverse and have trade and have jobs and stuff. Um, and yeah, the first sea train voyage was 12 years ago, so that's cool. And we also got a train building montage, right, straight from the 80s. And that's the end of episode 148. Do you have anything else to add or anything?
Not particularly in this.
Yeah. So I was trying to not do a synopsis, and I kind of did. I skipped a lot of things though. I skipped a lot of the side quests, like with like Luffy and Nami, um, trying to get to Icebarg, and Luffy getting stuck or whatever. Um, but I think I did better than what I was doing in the past. But still have room for improvement. Yeah. So that was our review. Oh, forgot to mention, like, Frankie has two sisters. It's like Kiwi and Maui or something. Maui. They have like There's like a particular scene where they're walking sideways, and Frankie's like, he's like, "Why are you walking sideways like that?" And they're like, "Well, our hair is square and flat, so if we walk against the wind, against a strong wind, we get blown back." That was funny. Uh, but Out of these 20 episodes so far, the best thing was Luffy versus Usopp, and also the CP9 stuff, like not seeing Robin and Usopp leaving the crew, and what that is doing to Luffy. Like he's the captain, like he has to bear it. That's the burden of leadership sometimes. Um, he has to make tough choices, and these tough choices led to Usopp leaving because they have a disagreement over the ship, and imposter syndrome. So that's kind of cool. What else can we talk about? Oh, the Rokushiki, those techniques. Like that's kind of cool. How like all these guys have like the same techniques, and they went through like this similar training um, to do what needed to be done, or whatever. Um, and they have all these like 6 different techniques, and they're able to like kick ass. Oh, we just finished.
Yeah, sorry
Finish going
about
over
that. It snuck up on me.
That's right.
It was like, oops.
Yeah.
I won't even tell you where I'm going.
Yep. Let's see, the Frankie house we had. That was his own thing. Like at the beginning, you think the Frankie house is just like some run of the muck, you know, dickwads that are just causing mayhem around the city, and they're just tolerated because they're not pirates. But they also have like a purpose in the city of taking down ships, right? And they don't build them. They don't build them. Build them. They just take them down, and they bounty hunt pirates. And I like how people are scared of Frankie when he's about to go on a quote unquote rampage. Um, and so that's kind of a huge twist where you're like, oh, Frankie's actually like an intelligent person, and he knows the mayor secretly, and he's in charge of the secret document thing. And you're like, wow, okay, I didn't see that coming. And also with the foremen being traitors, like you don't see that coming because you're like, oh, they're so nice and they can kick butt and they can protect things, and they're just then they betrayal.
I know you're speed running through this, but this is technically like the best arc of One Piece. So
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, for me, it's this and the next two.
it's usually rolled. The next like 3 arcs are kind of rolled into one when people talk about it.
Because technically, it is kind of the same arc.
Yeah, I think it's so good because of the mystery, and you don't see the twist. There's like usually like one big twist or something like that, but in this one there's like twist after twist after twist after twist, and none of it you see coming. I think that's why it's so good. At least so far. I haven't seen the other X amount of episodes, so I don't know. Maybe it'll go downhill. Who knows? It'll just drop off.
It just keeps going up.
Yeah.
It may dip a little bit, but it plateaus and then catches up again. You have not got to peak piece yet.
Yeah. Just crazy. It's like what were you, Mr. Creator? What were you smoking? He must have had some like really good weed or something like that. Got like a special batch, and he's like, "Ooh, I got so many ideas now." But not everything is. It's like it like sucks when if you're like an artist or whatever, and you're like you reach your peak. You're like, "Oh, this is the best. This is the best thing ever. It's everybody's favorite. All right, make something like that again." It's just like I can try, but no guarantees. But this is just full of mystery, government secret agencies, and plot twists, and what's going on with Nico Robin. We got the Pluton thing. All these things that like some of it but like I didn't expect the Pluton subplot to come up. Like you have blueprints for the Pluton. Oh my god, what is happening? But yeah, I liked it. I give it
Good.
a thumbs up.
All right. Well,
And
unfortunately, I gotta call it quits because it's almost 1 o'clock here, and I actually have work in like 6 hours.
Okay.
uh,
Well, I'll see you. Let you go then.
thank you everybody for watching. We'll do the last 15 episodes of Water 7 next Thursday. Join us Sunday for we might do Pokemon, D&D. We're gonna do our weekly podcast. And also watch and review Tucker and Dale versus Evil. All in one day.
You guys have fun. I've got to get going.
Thank you,
Alright.
Matt.
Guys, sign up.
See you later.
Yeah, see you, Matt.
Bye.
Bet.